Today, we're talking about a man who earned one of the most powerful titles you can imagine. And he didn't get it through birthright or by winning a war. He earned it through his life's work.
So what does it actually take to be called a king of actions? I mean, that title suggests just immense impact, right? Tireless dedication? Let's dig into the life of the man who didn't just get this title, he pretty much defined it.
All right, so the man of the hour is Bhaurao Patil. It was the people of Maharashtra who gave him the name Karmveer, which in Marathi literally means king of actions. He was a social activist and an educator who completely changed the game for so many people in Western India.
But how does someone even become a figure like that? Where does a story like this begin? Well, for him, it all started in his youth, with the people and the ideas that would eventually spark a full-blown revolution. You know, Bhaurao Patil wasn't born into royalty or wealth. He came from a farming family, but he grew up in this uniquely progressive place, the princely state of Kolhapur. It was a real hub for social reform, and that atmosphere, well, it shaped him from a really young age. His whole philosophy was really built on the ideas of three incredible figures: Chhatrapati Shahu, who was the progressive ruler of Kolhapur, Mahatma Phule, a revolutionary social reformer, and of course, Mahatma Gandhi. Each one gave him a crucial piece of the puzzle. And his connection to Chhatrapati Shahu wasn't some distant thing, it was personal. Shahu actually invited the young Bhaurao to stay in the royal palace just so he could study. I mean, can you imagine what that would teach you? He saw with his own eyes that education wasn't just about books. It was the ultimate tool for empowering communities and for achieving real equality. So this powerful belief he had about education, it didn't just stay an idea. It became his life's mission. And remember, this was a man of action. And he did not waste any time. In 1919, boom, he starts a hostel for kids from poor families and lower castes. Just a few months later, on October 4th, he officially founded the Rayat Education Society. And then by 1921, after meeting Gandhi, he was so inspired that he adopted khadi clothes and the whole principle of simple living. Now, the name of his organization is so important: Rayat. It's the Marathi word for masses. This tells you everything. This was never going to be some elite institution. From its very name, its purpose was crystal clear: serve the children of the common people, the farmers and the laborers who'd been left behind for centuries. But look, having a mission is one thing, actually making it work is a whole other ballgame. And the real genius of Bhaurao Patil was his core philosophy, this innovative model that made his dream of mass education a reality. He called it earn and learn. And the key thing here is this was not about charity. It was all about dignity and self-reliance. The deal was simple. Students could live in hostels and get a full education, and in return, they would work to cover their own expenses. And this idea was an absolute game changer. It shows his practical genius. For the rural poor, you see, the cost of education wasn't just about school fees. It was about losing a pair of helping hands in the fields. The earn and learn model completely solved that problem. It made education possible for those who could have never, ever afforded it otherwise. And this is where you see his incredible independent streak. I mean, he deeply admired Gandhi, but he was not a blind follower. Gandhi believed that educational institutes shouldn't take government money because he was worried it would lead to government control. But Patil, he was a pragmatist. He saw government aid as a necessary tool to grow his mission and reach even more kids. So what was the result of all this? This mission, this philosophy, this tireless work? Well, his legacy is often described as a giant banyan tree, with roots spread deep and its branches reaching far and wide. Okay, just look at this number. During his lifetime, Bhaurao Patil was directly responsible for creating 578 voluntary schools. That is not a typo. 578. Just let that sink in for a second. And it wasn't just small primary schools. The full network he built is just staggering. On top of those voluntary schools, he established 108 secondary schools, 38 boarding schools where students from all castes and communities live together, 6 training colleges for teachers, and even 3 degree-granting colleges. When you have an impact on that scale, it demands recognition. It was the people themselves who first gave him the title Karmveer. Then, in 1959, the year he passed away, the government of India awarded him the Padma Bhushan, one of the country's highest civilian honors.
And that same year, the University of Pune recognized his massive contribution with an honorary doctorate. In the end, his life's work was never just about building schools. It was about building futures. He kicked off an educational revolution, creating opportunity where there was absolutely none before. He didn't just earn the title King of Actions. He lived it. He defined it.
And that leaves us with this final thought. The schools he built are still educating students today. The philosophy he created continues to inspire people. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How can the actions of a single dedicated person create ripples that are still being felt generations and generations later?